Yes, it was super strange coming into Medellin, Colombia, right during COVID. Everything was locked down. I had my one little opening to get there, get situated. Okay, we are above Medellin, heading to Santa Elena on the windy road. I have to go up and get my computer because I got robbed last night. My iPhone is gone, so I have to get my iPad to locate my iPhone. Oh no. No bueno, no bueno, no bueno. Uh-oh. Alright, my first time was pretty weird. But not so weird that I can't share it with you. Hey, and if somebody's telling you, no, don't go, don't do it, talk to me first. I've already made a whole bunch of videos about how to stay safe in South America, all my experiences. They're back there in the library. So this video is more about just finding somewhere to sleep and rent for a while. When
it's kind of cool to be able to just walk over and eat and then come back and do work right here.
Before you do an Airbnb thing, like right off the bat for a month, hold off until after this video. Because I'm going to tell you a few things also that you should be prepared for in places like your kitchen, your bathroom, you know, your apartment, if you're going to do an apartment situation. Depends on where you're going. So, for example, here in this video, I'll just put some clips in of my little place in Colombia that I paid $275 a month. Okay, here it is. I have to do it quicker this time because the file was too big. There's the fancy stove, bathroom, washer, bedroom, my TV. But the most important thing is out here, that Mexican restaurant right there on the corner. And I really enjoyed that spot. I had Mexican food, little restaurant right across the street. I loved it. But as I stayed there, I wanted to kind of get out of the city. So I moved up to a place called Santa Elena. And I rented a house, which was really an old ranch, a finca. They call them fincas there. So there's our, well, that's not mine, but the bike box is. Our cardboard, our stuff from moving in. We'll go around the whole house. Pretty standard. And that's pretty standard even in the city. And a lot of times those will be in the kitchen. There's my bedroom. For a huge house here. As you can see, it's not a small place. But you know, these places that I lived in were all kind of just by the month by month. And that's really what I recommend doing, you know, unless you know somebody, you've already, you know, arranged something. Here, I'll just tell you how I did it. First, I just went to a hotel. I booked it actually on Priceline or something. I'm here. Here's my room. It's not quite as nice as that one we saw in the video, but it's nice. I flew into Medellin. I stayed at that hotel for a couple of nights just so I could put my bike together, you know, get organized and, you know, get my bearings for the city. But after a couple of days, I was ready to start venturing out. Now, you can't just go look at Airbnb rooms, you know, to see if you want them first. You got to see them online, right? Most of the time, unless you know somebody who stayed there. So what I did was I just kind of got the neighborhood down. Like this one's in a certain neighborhood, and it kind of pinpoints on there where you're going to be close to. See if it had the stores I needed, you know, the mercados, the little stores on the corner, which I love. I do have to go to a big store once in a while, like we all do. There, down there, it's called Éxito. Okay, so this is Éxito. Anyway, you know, it's like a big, huge store. And, you know, I just want to know where things are. I also want to know what it's like at nighttime around where I live. Even though I don't go out at night very much, I want to know that I can actually just walk down to a cafe or somewhere to grab something to drink. And then get back home safely. So I scope out the neighborhoods, and that's how I do it on Airbnb, is just look at, well, where's this at? What neighborhood? And then while I'm in that hotel, I'll go scope it out. And then I'll take a gamble. All right, it looks like a nice apartment like you saw here. You know, some of the things that were kind of a bummer about it were like the shower didn't work that good. So while taking a shower, that blew open and a piece of paint or tile went into my eyeball. The water was, you know, that's another thing down in South America, anywhere you go, from you know, the northern border of Mexico all the way down to Argentina. The water is going to be different than you're used to in America. A lot of on-demand water heaters and a lot of that stuff, a lot of different kinds and things like that. So it will be different in that way. Your shower will be a little different. Now, some places, maybe you won't notice the difference because they'll be set up correctly, but, you know, they're always a little funky anywhere you go.
Doing good. I'm just trying to do laundry and wrangling this machine. It constantly goes out of balance, so I just gotta, every time it spins, I gotta jump on it and hold it down.
Now, a lot of times, the kitchen, it'll be a normal refrigerator, usually smaller than you're used to in America, but another thing that'll happen is you'll end up with like a hot plate burner, you know, an electric. So I just got back from the store, barely, and a couple things added to the shelf, some spices. I got myself some snacks and some bread and all this stuff here. It doesn't look like much, but you know how it is, little by little. So that felt good. Electric top plate burner. It won't be like a regular gas stove, and if it is, it'll be propane. And propane bottles in the kitchen under the sink, real common. You're going to live better. You're going to feel better. The fruit's better. You know, it's a whole different ball game with the meat, grass-fed mostly. Eggs, you never see eggs refrigerated, rarely, you know, and it's just a different way of life. The biggest thing that I can recommend in this video is learning Spanish. You know, I'm not perfect in Spanish, but I know enough to get me along. And if I ever get stuck, I used to always say, estoy aprendiendo lento. That means I'm learning slowly. But you know, at least they know you're trying. That's the main thing. When they see you're trying, they'll help you out. And they'll get you to where you need to be. They'll find you things that you need. But you got to integrate yourself into the community. The other thing I would warn against is just hanging around other expats, other gringos. Now, you need a group, a community of gringos to, you know, talk about home and all that kind of stuff. I don't need it that much, but a lot of people do. They have that connection to home. But I recommend to immerse yourself completely in the culture and connect with a family. And that's what I did in Colombia. I was part of a family. And the other thing is people will help you out. They'll take care of you. If you have questions, make sure you ask in the comments. I'll try to get to every comment. Also, my email is in the channel description. Feel free to email me. I try to get back to all of those. Sometimes it's not real quick. Also, please like and subscribe. Check out my other videos in that backlog library of a lot of stuff on Colombia, travel, safety, and other things too. So, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. And hopefully this video brought some insight into moving south of the border.